And we are back. Rory Sauter in the news, coming to you live from Palm Springs, California. I do want to introduce my next guest who's with us right now. We have Peter Boykin. Peter, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing very well, man. Good to see you. I think I haven't had. I think I had you on, but it's been a while. It's been a few years, right?
Yeah, I think a long time.
Yeah, long time. So what's been going on, man? What's new? I heard you're running for office. Give us the rundown. Give us the scoop. All that good stuff, man. And give us a bio too. Again, I know you're doing a lot of political stuff. I know you're staying busy. And yeah, man.
Currently, I'm running for lieutenant governor in North Carolina, a field of 11 or 12 of our individuals. I ran a couple of years ago in the last midterm, but I wanted to run for U.S. Congress, but they can't. We have a big issue here with maps and the changing of maps and complaining, so they changed everything at the last minute. I ran for a local office, but honestly, I just became the Ross Perot in that office to get the older guy who'd been in there for 10 years and actually did a great job to get him boosted back in. I didn't expect to. I fell on the sword basically so he could win.
And lately, how is the campaign going? Are you doing a lot of events? Are you out there talking to supporters? What's the feedback you're getting? Any polls?
Very grassroots, very grassroots. Nobody has any money to donate. I'm not really running around asking people for money. I didn't spend the summertime really going around to the GOP type events. Honestly, the GOP is maybe 10,000 people out of millions who are registered. So you're kind of cycling your heels when everybody else, and when you got 10 other candidates or 5 other candidates going there, you're just all competing for the same 10,000 votes. And I spent a lot more time trying to prep and getting more social media and more videos out, getting that viral part out, which that reaches the larger base than going to individual clubs. And when you're grassroots, everything costs money to drive around the city. This is a big state. So now that everything's official, yeah, there's a lot of places reaching out, doing forums, doing debates, and I will be doing that tour to the places that invite us, which I think is now more crucial. But at the same time, I'll spend days, putting out little cards on people's doors, making sure I get my signs out. So I'll be making full days of it.
And you know a lot about marketing. You've been doing your own content for a while, right? Like I feel like you've been very active in that space. I mean, you've been doing different footage and different clips, I feel like for years.
Yeah, since 2015, I've been very active making podcasts and doing videos. Before then, before I began, just when Donald Trump decided to run for office, that's when, kicked it into gear again. The last time I'd done anything was during the McCain versus Obama, uh,
Wow.
where people, and I'm gonna state, back then we didn't know about Hillary and how bad she was, and then you thought
Right.
about good presidents, and I thought Bill Clinton worked with the Newt Gingrich,
Yeah.
Contract of America.
Yeah.
He
Clinton
might
was
have,
good. Yeah.
he definitely had some issues, personal issues. We
Right.
didn't know how bad Hillary was, and so some of us supported Hillary Clinton. I was not a Democrat, but that's when you started realizing the Obama crew started attacking the Hillary crew, and then they started saying, "Oh, you're racist for not voting for Obama." I was like, "Well, the fact that he's black is actually a pretty decent thing, you know. You got a woman versus a black man." So they started treating people like dirt, and that's when your first walkaway type people decided, those ones that were in the Democrat Party, they quit the Democrat Party because they realized and opened up their eyes that this party literally will kick you out if you think differently or you have a different candidate, and they mass exodus. And we created a group called Clintons for McCain, former Clinton supporters who now like McCain and Palin because we saw the light. I've never been a registered Democrat. I've always kind of mixtured with my votes,
Right. Me
but
too. Yeah.
I kept that, and I registered as a Republican when Donald Trump ran for office because I said, you know what, the Republican Party has some hope. They're picking the right type of people. There's a lot of people running the unaffiliated now because Donald Trump's the only thing really holding our party still really good, like glue. Unfortunately, the extreme social conservatism wing of the Republican Party has kicked in, and I've stated it multiple times. I think they're just as extreme as radical liberals. That the only way that this country survives is through being a constitutionalist, being more of a moderate. Now, I'm not talking about a rhino. I think rhino is an overused word, honestly. Rhino is, oh, you disagree with me in the Republican Party, you're rhino. Oh, you disagree. We all end up calling each other rhinos after a while, which is ridiculous. We have a guy who's a senator here. His name is Tom Tillis.
Mm-hmm.
Gets voted. People go, oh, he's a traitor. He's a rhino. Well, he doesn't always see eye to eye with Donald Trump, but he was the senator who right away, after Colorado, he right away started working on legislation to make sure that they could not use that 14th Amendment the way they were bending it, to literally make sure that they cannot pick people off the ballot. He's the one actually defending Donald Trump's on the ballot, yet some people will still call him a rhino, which is ridiculous, or a traitor. But you have, 750 of the 10,000 people here who decided that North Carolina's GOP should censor our senator. What good is that going to do in the next election? He gets reelected. So are you basically saying that you want a Democrat instead? So truly, who is the rhino? Who is the one that wants to get rid of the sitting Republican who might not see eye to eye on everything? Ronald Reagan always said 80-20. 80% my friend, 20% my foe does not make you my enemy. So we're not going to agree. And there's plenty of people in North Carolina personally here I will not agree with on everything. I don't agree with the whole Republican platform on every degree. And they always bring that up. But I let them know I'm not a rhino. I'm never going to be a Democrat. But there are days that sometimes where you feel like you're too right to be left and you're too left to be right. But the only way our country is going to survive is through moderation. And I always say, as a constitutionalist, our Constitution was founded by many different people of different religions, of different beliefs and structures, and it was compromise, that moderation that built our Constitution. And it's the only thing that's keeping our country afloat. Honestly, when people talk of this talk of civil war, I'm like, do you understand what that means? Do you want brother versus brother and sister versus sister killing each other in the streets? You really think that's going to fix America? Or is that what all the other countries do, where they go take to the streets and kill each other? So, no, we're not trying to start a civil war. I don't think that's the answer. I think the answer is we need to start listening to each other. We need to start concentrating on real issues, because my campaign's all about infrastructure, jobs, and education, period. I don't worry about people calling stuff woke. I think that's another overused word. It's all about taking care of what individuals need, because we're struggling. Everybody's struggling in North Carolina and America under Bidenomics or whatever. Economy, bad economy, people have been talking about it for as long as I've been alive. But at the end of the day, we've got to start putting America first. We got to start taking care of every single person on this this planet, or whatever, in the United States especially. We're not doing it by dying on the heel with woke, anti this and anti that, and alienating our youth. And sorry, I'm rambling.
No, but I agree with everything you just said, but